Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.
Welcome to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, and I'm excited to be here today to talk to you a little bit about IRAs. So many of you know that you need to start investing. We've been talking about that for several weeks now, and some of you may have 401ks at your work or your places of business, which the first rule in finance is for you to actually max out your 401k to the point of meeting the match. So what I mean there is if your employer has a match on your 401k or any type of pension program at your place of employment, that's the first rule in finance when it comes to investing, is make sure that you are meeting the match. So if your employer will allow you to invest 3% of your income and they'll match 3%, then you better make sure, and in my opinion, you need to make sure that you're putting in at least that 3%. I really don't recommend putting more than the 3% because that's all that you have matched. So if you put in, let's say, $100 a month and they're matching $100 a month, you're getting an immediate $100 boost in your income. You're actually giving up some of your income by not putting in the 3% that they are going to match. So you need to make sure and do that. Now, the reason I don't recommend putting in more than the match is simply because in your work 401k, you're limited on the number of mutual funds and the types of investments that you can put your money in. You need to make sure that you have someone looking over your 401k. And I talked about that a little bit on last week's show, where someone like myself can come in and access your account through your authority. You would grant me discretionary authority to go in, act as you on the website for your 401k, and I would be able to manage your 401k and manage that money, but I'm still limited on how I can manage those funds based on the funds that are available inside of your 401k. You're limited based on what 401k your company sets up. So I highly recommend that you would put money elsewhere. Or if you don't have access to a 401k, I highly recommend an IRA, and that can be either a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Advantages to both. For the traditional IRA, the advantages are it's going to help your taxable income go down now. So immediately you're going to pay less money to the government in taxes. However, that money that you're not paying taxes on now, well, guess what? You will have to pay taxes on that money and the growth of all that money at retirement. When you start drawing that money out, you'll pay taxes on that money and the growth at ordinary income prices. Now, if you're making okay money, but not huge money right now, it would probably benefit you to put your money into a Roth IRA. And we can thank Senator Roth for coming up with that concept. And the big advantage to the Roth IRA is that all of the money is going to grow tax-free. Now, you do pay taxes on the money that you're putting in, meaning it's post-taxed money. When you receive your check at home after you've paid your income tax, that money you can spend it any way you want to, including putting some of that money into a Roth IRA. So there's no immediate tax benefit. But if you think about compounding interest, which I've also talked about a couple of shows ago, the growth, especially if you're younger, if you're in your 20s or even in your 30s, and realizing that your money could double, triple, quadruple several times over the course of your life before you start drawing out this money, your $2,000 could end up being $1 million with enough doubling periods because of compounding interest. And so that $2,000 that was taxable income that you did pay taxes on up front grew to $1 million. And now when you start pulling out that million, however you pull that out after age 59 and a half, you will have no penalties, you will have no taxes, and you can use that money however you see fit at retirement. So wanted to go over that with you a little bit this morning. I know some of you may have questions, and I want to make sure you know how to reach me and where to come to see me. So if you're familiar with the Cookeville Courthouse, diagonally to it is Poets on the Square, and I'm in that same building. It's actually the Jerry Whitson building, affectionately referred to as the Whitson building by those that are located right around there. And that's right on Broad Street at 228 East Broad Street, right there beside Poets on the Square, Diamond Financial Group. We finally got a sign up this last week. Praise God. I'm excited about that. So right beside our door now, you can see a plaque, aluminum kind of plaque sign that says Diamond Financial Group with our address, 228 East Broad Street, Suite 100. So excited about that sign. We're investigating some additional signage for out front in front of our big glass windows there. And so excited about the things to come. But stop in and see us. Say hi. If you have any questions about investing, if you have any questions about IRAs, Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, 401ks or 401k management, if you're a teacher or work in a church or organization like that, you can take advantage of a 403b. If all this is sounding very foreign to you, you really need to stop in and see us, because I can tell you, I'm really concerned about Social Security and whether it's going to be around for those that are in their 40s and younger. I really feel that you're going to be missing out if you don't start preparing for retirement and realizing that inflation is back on the rise a little bit, which is good for our economy, by the way, but it does mean that things will cost more in 20 years or 30 years than they do today. We have seminars with older clientele often, and we will ask them, how many of you paid more for your last car than you did for your first house? And it was almost across the board that is the case. So we're going to be back here in just a minute after a word from some of my sponsors that I greatly appreciate. We're going to be talking with Joey Smith from Smith's Insulation, seeing how he can help you save some money on your energy costs. I am Jason Murphy. You've been listening to Money in Motion on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Death and taxes, the only things that are certain, right? Everyone's in the market for a car at some point, though. That's what I found after living on this earth for so many years. Well, my frugal family found itself searching for a vehicle. With all my dad's advice from years and years of working on cars in the back of my mind, my husband and I strolled through car lots for over a month, searching for our perfect vehicle. Well, we found it right here in Cookeville. One rainy day, we walked into Nissan of Cookeville with a list of tough questions and a written down budget. Scott Davenport met us at the door, answered every single question, and addressed every concern we had. He made a potentially anxious situation as easy as I've ever experienced. So stop by and see my friend Scott Davenport at Nissan of Cookeville, or reach him at 528-7715. That's 528-7715. Nissan of Cookeville.
This July, my wife and I will be celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary. I am so excited, and I want to do something special. To celebrate this amazing event. You see, it was about 10 and a half years ago that I proposed to my wife, and at the time, I couldn't afford to give her the ring that I wanted her to have. So this year, I'm going to surprise her with not only an anniversary band, but I wanted to do something special to replace and improve her engagement and wedding band. I looked around and asked many people who could do the best job for such an important event for such a special person in my life. Let me take a minute of your time to tell you about a longtime friend of mine from high school, Matt Phillips. Matt Phillips is now the owner and master jeweler at the Jewelry Emporium. I have been working with Matt and the professionals at the Jewelry Emporium to create the perfect ring for this special occasion. When you're ready to pop the question, or you have that special moment in life that you want to celebrate with the perfect ring, home, or jewelry, the professionals at the Jewelry Emporium will take the time and pay attention to every detail to make sure your moment is right. Call my friends at the Jewelry Emporium at 526-8366 to celebrate your next big event with that perfect symbol.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, right there on the square beside Poets. And you can reach me a couple of different ways. You can call our office number at 646-4090. That's 646-4090. You can check out our website, Diamond Financial Group, and the number one.com. I hate that one, but we had to put it in there. Someone had already stolen Diamond Financial Group. But Diamond Financial Group, one.com. You can check out our website. You can find us on Facebook now. I officially got us hooked up on Facebook with a business page this last week. Please go out and check Diamond Financial Group on Facebook and let me know what you think. We're still adapting that and making it look better and that kind of thing, but at least getting started. Or you can email this show if you have any questions for me or for my guest. We're about to talk with Joey Smith from Smith's Insulation. You can email me at moneyinmotion@cfdinvestments.com. That's cfdinvestments.com. Money in Motion at cfdinvestments.com. Okay. So, Joey, man, we've known for each other for probably 2 or 3 years now. How are you doing today?
Oh, man, doing great. Glad to be here.
That's awesome. And I have to tell the listening audience that I called you last minute. It was last night I called. I had someone else scheduled to be a guest today, and they had a family emergency and called, and I knew I was going to see you today already, and this worked out. So I really appreciate you stepping up and being on the air with me.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, Joey, you own Smith's Insulation. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
You founded that. You created it. How did that process go? Have you coming up with this?
Well, no, I didn't found it or create it.
Okay.
Smith Insulation was founded in 1977 by my dad.
Ah, okay.
So we've been around in the community for quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And before that, he was actually a brick mason, a brick and stone mason, and had done a lot of work in the area and built a lot of the local buildings and bricked a lot of those. So,
oh, wow. So growing up, did you kind of work with your dad often with the company a little bit?
I did. I was probably 10 when he started the company, so I wasn't in it a lot until probably my high school years.
Okay, sure.
And I would help in the summer, but I started working full time after I graduated high school. And
I want to just, while you were saying that, it just got me thinking, man, Joey, I wish you and I wish a lot of my audience members, when they were in high school and got that first job, I wish they had created 3 habits. And I'm going to say those, and this is a caveat to our interview, so forgive me for jumping in here. But I felt, sometimes you feel like the prompting of the Lord is on you, or the Holy Spirit, or whatever you want to call it. But I just felt like there's someone listening that needs to hear this. It doesn't matter if you're 16 or if you're 26, but if you're working, you need to do 3 things. If you have a job, and I highly recommend jobs, they give us money and resources, and give 10%, the first 10% to the Lord. Start tithing and learn about that. And I'm telling you, God's going to bless your income and your life like you cannot imagine. I could give you a bunch of examples about that, but I'm not going to do that now. I'll save that for another show. But give 10% to God. I also recommend that you start investing at that young age. I mean, think about how much exponential compounding interest growth you would have on money that you had started investing when you were 16 or 17 working for your dad. I mean, he could have issued you a 1099 or whatever, a W-2 for work that you earned. I mean, you were working as a high school student for him and started investing a little bit of that money. And man, you'd be a millionaire right now. I guarantee it.
I guarantee you don't think about it at a young age.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older and I do the investment, right, I wish I had started something earlier.
Right. Yeah. And so, but I did tell you I was going to give 3 rules. The first one, give 10% to God. Second one, give 10% to your future self. And I'm talking post-tax money. This is after you pay taxes and all that jazz. But the third tip is simply live off the other 80%. Don't get in debt. So many people are spending so much money in interest rates. That's why if you look at some of the largest buildings in the world, they're owned by banks and insurance companies. So there's a reason for that. And that interest is paying them. I would rather you collect the interest instead of paying the interest. So going on, though, you were telling me about how you kind of got started with your dad and worked. And then after high school, you really kind of started ramping up with the company.
Yes. Of course, in any business, you can't just start off in management. You've got to learn the business. So,
yes.
So in 1986, after I graduated high school in 85, I went a year at Tennessee Tech.
Okay.
Decided that wasn't for me.
Sure.
So went to work for my dad, doing the grunt work, just like anybody else ought to, learning the business. Once I figured out the business after several years, went into the management part of it. And in 1998, I believe I took over. He retired, and I took over the business in 1998.
Gotcha. But your dad is still around and doing well. I'm sure sticks his head in the business often.
He is. He still comes in the office every day.
Okay.
And gives his 2 cents worth.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It's great. I love it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
That probably feels like a child of his. You know, he developed this thing. He grew it. He passed it on to his son, leaving that legacy that we often talk about on this show. There's different ways you can leave a legacy. And so that's amazing. And that's awesome that your dad is still kind of involved in the business and doing well. So you took over in like 1998 or so. And I got to just throw this out there. The listening audience has to be aware and appreciative of how someone that owns a business really knows the business. I mean, you've worked every aspect of Smith's Insulation. I mean, there's not a job you didn't do growing up through that company. And so, man, kudos and awesome respect on not just coming in as a manager and saying, okay, I'm going to tell you guys how to do this, not having ever done it. You've done it and been in the trenches. And I know your workers probably respect that too, because when you tell them to do something, it's because you know what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it.
And to this day, I still will go out and get out there and do it myself still.
Right.
Just because it's something different for me to get out again anymore. I'm not used to doing that, but
Right.
But I enjoy doing it still.
Well, and that's good. And I think it's important. In fact, we had this conversation a little bit earlier that no matter how old you get, I mean, I was talking about my dad with Joey a little bit earlier. He's 69 years old, coming up on 70, and he's still out there working. And I truly believe when you stop working, you start dying. And you got to stay active. You got to stay involved. You got to keep your mind mentally sharp. And so we're going to keep talking with Joey. This has been awesome. I appreciate you being on the show, Joey. But you've been listening to Money Talk on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
646-5519. Those numbers may not mean a whole lot to you right now, but you're going to want to write this number down. My name is Jennifer. My husband and I, we're frugal people. While we like to get a lot of value for our money, to say the least, we stretch every dollar. So last year, we decided that we wanted to refinance a mortgage on our house. We did our research, and that's when I met Barbara Steebing. Her official title is loan officer. She's not just thorough, not just thoughtful. She actually anticipated my family's needs throughout the whole process of the refinance. And trust me, folks, when I say they were tricky needs. She was just amazing. Can't say enough about it. By the time the process was over, I called her my friend. You can be friends with Barbara. All you need to do is go to Willow Avenue in Cookeville next to Jackson Plaza and go into First Volunteer Bank and tell my friend Barbara Steebing that you're there to save money, and she will do it for you. The number is 646-5519. So stop by First Volunteer Bank and see Barbara Steebing.
Member FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Jason Murphy with Money in Motion. I want to tell you about a friend of mine, Tammy Smith with Master My Score right here in Cookeville. You see, she's a credit consultant and helps people get their credit score up so you can buy that next house or an automobile. I recommend my clients call Tammy Smith to fix their credit score. For more information, go to mastermyscore.com or call 996-7375. That's 996-7375.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, right there on the square in Cookeville beside Poets. Stop by and see us. Feel free to give me a call at 646-4090. That's 646-4090. Or send me an email. If you have questions for our guest today, Joey Smith or Smith Insulation, I do want to give you some information now and again at the end of this segment about how you can get a hold of them. You can simply Google Smith's Insulation. In fact, I tried that a minute ago to make sure that it came up, and you're going to see Cookeville's Smith's Insulation immediately when you Google Smith's Insulation around here. They do have a website that you can connect to through Google, but it's smithinsulation.net, or you can call them at 526-5720. If you want to write down that number at the end of the segment, we'll come back and share that one more time. But one of the reasons that I wanted to have Joey on the show today was actually a couple of different reasons. One, I know him as a man. I've gotten to know Joey, and I know him to be a man of integrity. I know him to be a man of God. He cares about his business and his work ethic and the product that he offers. I personally have hired Joey to come into our building there at Diamond Financial Group and put in insulation. He was able to share his expertise in that realm of insulation on where we needed it, where we did not. Actually saved us quite a bit of money because I was thinking we needed to insulate everything, and he made suggestions and recommendations to us that were right on par, saved us a significant amount of money. He wasn't there to just try to sell a job. He was there to help us accomplish what we wanted to get done. And so that's the same thing we try to do at Diamond Financial Group every day, is not ever selling you a product, but actually educating you on the services we can provide and finding out your situation and how they mesh. And so me and Joey's business ethics and our values, our principles are in the line with one another. And so that's why I brought him on board. Not to mention, if you have a well-insulated home or business, you can save some money on your energy costs. And I think everybody knows that, but you may not know how or why that takes place. So, Joey, can you talk a little bit to your knowledge on just insulation? How does that work?
Well, like you said, a well-insulated house affects you more than just keeping the heat out. It also affects the way your heating and air conditioning system works. Okay. So if your heating and air system works correctly, it's not running as often. So that's where your savings are going to come in. Okay. And plus your house at that time is going to feel more comfortable. Right. So, but the insulation part of it, you got two different areas that you're concerned with, and we're going to talk about existing homes and not the new construction so much, but existing homes, your attic insulation, that's the main area that you should be concerned with right now. And depending on how much you got in there, you may need to add some, you may not. You may already have a good amount of insulation in there. And that's where, is that something you guys can do? I mean, can you just go if someone calls up and what do you charge for that, just to go out and kind of evaluate and see if any insulation is needed or not? Oh, I do that every day. That's actually what I do most of the time. Yes, and we come out, we evaluate your house, and it is free. Okay. Free estimates. We'll come out and evaluate. If you don't need anything, I'm not going to charge you anything. Right. And if you do need anything, I give you a quote right then. Okay. That'll tell you exactly how much it's going to be, and also some other information that might go along with that. There's rebates that are out there as well. Oh wow. Okay. So if you want to add insulation, TVA offers a good rebate. So you pay for the work. Then they come in and also will do a third-party inspection of the work that's done to make sure that the quality is what it should be. Oh, wow. So, and that way, I mean, because everybody really benefits. Everybody benefits when less energy is used up. And I honestly, just from a God perspective,
that is a natural resource that God gives us, is energy. And I believe we're called to be good stewards of how we use not only our money, but our energy resources as well.
Yes.
And you help people with that. So that is awesome. So what are some of the different types of insulation?
Well, the different types, you've got three basic types of insulation.
Yeah.
You've got the fiberglass, which is your traditional, the roll in, what you see, the Pink Panther, that you see the advertisements on TV that we talked about earlier.
Right.
Then you've got the cellulose, which is a ground up newspaper product.
Okay.
That's been treated so you don't have any kind of worry about fire hazard or anything like that.
Okay.
And then you've got the spray foam. So those are your three types of insulation that you'll see out there. Each one has a benefit. Each one has a kind of a little bit of a downfall.
Okay.
And in the way I listed them there, that is the fiberglass is probably your least costly.
Okay.
The cellulose costs you a little bit more, and then the foam costs you a little bit more. But each one, as you step up, also
has greater benefits. Okay.
Which is airflow. That is one of the issues. People don't realize what insulation does.
Okay.
Is air infiltration into a house is one of the big costs of what runs your energy bills up.
Gotcha.
So
by the better insulation you have, the less airflow you're going to have coming in from the outside or from the inside out.
Exactly.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
But if you restrict that airflow, therefore the conditioned air on the inside of the home is going to stay there longer.
It stays in the house longer.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. Excellent. So, Joey, I wanted to ask another question, and that is simply, how does adding insulation to a home, or in what different ways does adding to insulation to your home help the people out there save money?
Well, one of the ways that it helps is by adding insulation to your attic or by stopping the airflow.
Okay.
You're maintaining your temperature in the house longer, so your unit's not kicking on as often.
Gotcha.
Which helps save you money, because your heating and cooling costs are usually one of the big factors in what causes your electric bill to go up.
Absolutely, yeah, probably the largest factor.
Yes,
right.
Along with heating, water, and cooking.
Okay.
Those are your three main ones that cause your electric bills to go up. But
gotcha.
But by adding this insulation, or by stopping the air transfer in and out, you keep the heat and air in the house longer, which causes, again, keeps your unit from running as
Gotcha.
much.
Gotcha. Okay.
Most homes, even the newer ones, will still need to be checked. Even though you may think, well, I've only had this house for 5 or 10 years, it should be good. Well, not necessarily. If you've had somebody up in your attic working, cable wires run, telephone wires run, anything like that run, it messes up that insulation. So you need to have it checked every 10 to 15 years, because sometimes even the codes change, and you may want to add more into it because of the climate.
Gotcha. Have you ever experienced a small animal of varying types that have disrupted the insulation?
Very often do I run into a house that squirrels have been in.
Gotcha.
I've seen raccoons, squirrels, all kinds of animals get up in there, and they will demolish the insulation.
Okay, so guys, I want to encourage you, everybody out there listening, to get a hold of Joey Smith at Smith's Insulation. I encourage you to have him come out, do a free inspection of your home. After talking with him, I realized that my home is actually about 15 years old right now, and I can't tell you if it's ever had the insulation inspected. So, Joey, I'm telling you right now, I want you to come and inspect, my home, and see if there's anything I need to add to make it more efficient. And I do know that my home, I have a hard time keeping the upstairs especially cool in the summertime, and it stays cooler and to keep it heated in the wintertime. So definitely want to have you to come out. But if you want Joey Smith to come out and inspect your home, try to help you save on some money, so maybe you can come out and invest, give him a call at 526-5720. Just Google Smith's Insulation here in Cookeville, and he can hook you up. I appreciate your time and listening to my show, Money in Motion. You've been listening to Jason Murphy, your host on Money in Motion on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.
When we at Diamond Financial Group decided to open our new office, I knew I wanted to update my new computer, so I went to the professionals at the Computer Doctor in Sparta to discuss my needs. They took the time to find the perfect combination of professionalism and portability I wanted to effectively and efficiently do my job. In addition to great customer service, they also saved my business money by providing us with a state-of-the-art phone system that will surpass our business needs. Since then, the professionals there have always delivered every time I had a technological need. Call my friends at the Computer Doctor for your personal and commercial needs at 837-4357 or go see them at 180 Churchill Drive in Sparta. Again, their phone number is 837-4357.
Affordable, effective, reliable, and proven. Since 2001, Painter's Dream Productions has provided website design and audio-video production services. Since 2008, we've added social media marketing and search engine optimizations to our portfolio of services. Our job is to take you to the next level. We have an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau, and to see our work or for more information, visit us at paintersdream.com. Would you like a free consultation? Call 931-488-1002.